Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Robin Raskin, the founder of Living in Digital Times, creator, long time back, of Last Gadget Standing at the Consumer Electronics Show, coming up again in just a week or so. Welcome, Robin.
Great to be here, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Tell us, first of all, a little bit about the background of Last Gadget and how this came about. It's really probably the most fun event at the Consumer Electronics Show.
Well, it really is. And the irony is, when we conceived of it 19 years ago, this will be the 19th year, the world was very different. There weren't Kickstarters and there weren't all this beta ones and people pre-announcing things. And it was like you launched a product and you knew when the launch was. And we felt the only thing around at that time were journalists' opinions. Journalists, as we know, can be jaded and have seen things before, but they're not really looking for what is going to last and what's really needed on the market. So the Last Gadget Standing, and it was the year Survivor was really big on TV. So the idea was to have a product face-off in real time. And the coolest part about it, I think, is still to this day, is every product that makes the finals, and the finals are voted by judges, every finalist gets 4 minutes on stage, but the final vote is based on applause. Not very scientific, but really raucous and fun. And when we realized how much people loved, they would invite their friends from their companies and their friends that they knew, and the lines go out the door to pack them into the rooms, and the vote by applause was just a great way to get everybody excited. Because really all 10 of these products that we choose to demo are all winners in their own way. They illustrate trends in this year's CES. So we say everybody's a winner, but we're going to vote with applause. Now, somewhere in the middle, we added an online vote, because remember, when we started this, online meant CompuServe, Prodigy, and AOL. so we had a lot of things to sort of accommodate over the years, but we like to think of it as sort of the Oscars of CES, where it closes out the show. We have swag, we have trivia, we have, for many years, David Pogue was our host. This year, David Pogue won't be at CES because of a new job. Jennifer Jolly is our host. Yeah, so our first woman, we're pretty excited about that. And Las Vegas showgirls and guys hand out the prizes, and it's just a fun hour. And to me, a great way to get educated about bigger trends at CES.
Let's talk about some of the finalists here. And I know you got to give them, I suppose, you can't be prejudiced here. So tell us, give us a little bit of a run through of who made the cut.
Yeah, so we do have judges, and they are on the website, lastgadgetstanding.com. And the judges are journalists and influencers, and probably a lot of names that are familiar to you. So we have a lot of back and forth online, and then we have a big conference call where everybody defends what they think and why. So to that end, we saw a lot of cool products illustrating different trends. For one is this thing called a mixtape. It really is a super MP3 player, but retro. It looks like your old cassette player, and in fact, it will play cassettes, but it's also a top-of-the-line MP3 player. So I think there's a retro movement going on. That one scored highly. Views, V-U-Z-E, Views has won before for their cameras, and this year they have a pretty interesting camera setup that converts between a 3D camera and a 360 camera, depending on how you position the two cameras that it comes with. So it was a very clever way to get both of those camera views at once. So that scored really well. The judges love that, and they'll be presenting. Have you seen the Ori ring? O-R-I-I?
There's been an attempt at this kind of thing before. a high-tech ring. So tell us what this one can do.
Yeah, so this one is really meant for phone calls, and it really is bone conduction. So you get a phone call, literally, and hold your finger to your cheekbone, and you will hear that call. I actually tried this out even in a noisy conference center, and it really did work. So the idea here is I think you're seeing people trying to get away from pulling out their cell phone all the time and being quite so dependent. And this is a kind of subtle way to take your calls, except you look like the thinker most of the time because you've got your finger up at your cheek, and that is how you listen to your phone call.
And you wear this, I'm hoping, on your index finger or your fourth
That's
finger.
right. That's right. Not yeah. So
Okay.
it's on your pointer finger. So
And it's spelled ORII. So if people want to look this up.
correct. Let's see what else we have. We have the Harry Potter magic wand, which is one of the cleverest toys we've seen for kids in a long time because everything from the minute you open the box to the minute you cast your first spell, which is what you do, is sort of in character with a Harry Potter sword and what it should be. So first you must assemble the sword and build it so you get your maker movement thing going on, and then you cast spells through simple programming. So you can you just use sort of drag and drop pull coding. And so everything that you do with this wand as you cast spells and build it and it shines its LED light really feels like you are a cool Harry Potter character. And you're not meant to be Harry Potter. You're actually meant to be you casting these spells. So the judges thought it was sort of really continuous feeling, like an experience. And by the way, in kids stuff this year, we have seen a true lack of screens in what will be at CES. You're seeing playthings, whether they're balls with stories in them or swords or robots. You're not seeing as many tablets and screen things. And I think that's because parents felt it was enough screen time for their kids. Security, super big issue this year, as we all know. So one of the demonstrations will be of YubiKey, which is an authentication key that you use, plug it into your USB and provides access, and has some clever features built in about moving from machine to machine and shutting down, and if you forgot your key, it will lock up. So some clever things added to that. And then we saw this, and I think everybody's seen the hearing aid business is changing, and the FDA approved PSAPs, personal system amplification products, over-the-counter hearables that you can not spend the huge price of going to an audiologist and getting a hearing aid, but for certain types of hearing impairments or even just being in a noisy, crowded room, you can wear earphones that are super adjustable. So we have IQ Boost, which are earpieces that are, if you're in a noisy restaurant, if you're in a theater and you want amplification, or if you want TV, you can make personal adjustments and save them as your customized setting. And we felt that was a category, IQ Boost from Luhira in particular, they kind of pioneered this effort. We have a dashboard camera for cars, people who are looking for some of the features in more of the newer cars, but as an aftermarket, you can have video of your road trip and make calls, get email, all from a dashboard setup. And we'll be looking at one called the Owl Cam that we had a couple enter this year. So clearly that's hot. And then we always have products that will not be disclosed until the first day of the show, so I can't talk about them. But one is a great product for audio, and one is a PC that's really this year's, a laptop that's this year's piece de resistance. It sort of has everything.
Awesome. And as you mentioned, there are lots more products that you have on the website, which is lastgadgetstanding.com, that people can peruse. Many of those that didn't make the finalist list are still interesting. You got a lot of things to choose from that people can take a look at. And of course,
and to me, the most fun thing is the history. So there's a Hall of Fame, and you can go back to 2001, and you can see how much or how little the world has changed. So 2001, for example, it was the OnStar that you had in your car, the first navigation device. And, so that's still, Roomba was a winner one year. So you're seeing most of the products that win actually do stand the test of time and become popular items. So to me, the consumer always knows best. And that's what we hope we hear with the attendees in the audience, that you can have journalists and they can have their opinion and they get excited about things. But when you have a room full of audience participation, it's a great, fun way to spot out the winners for the long haul.
Yeah, and I'm looking back at 2004, where the winner was a home robot called the Roomba.
Yeah, it kind of blew people away. I mean, it really did. So you get to see, things first. I don't know if you remember the Litro camera, the one that took an entire picture and then you could go in on the details that you wanted. Basically took in all the information and then processed it inside the camera. The Matrix Power Watch, which was the first smartwatch powered by your body heat, and they're still around. Last year was Linksys Velop, which was the first home mesh router, which kind of many people have upgraded to mesh systems, and it really was a game changer. A couple of surprises. I was surprised there weren't more things that were actually taking advantage of 5G that entered, and I think it's just a tad early.
Maybe next year.
So expected the 5G phone, to be there, but I think it's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, not many places we could actually test that out yet.
Nope. And the same, AI. Well, some of the systems, have AI somewhere in their software. It wasn't like there wasn't a winner AI product as there have been in other years with smart home control systems. So a couple of things that I wouldn't have predicted wouldn't make it to a final list. But as I said, the judges, so at least 2 judges look at each product and weigh in and share their notes and then come up with this list of 10 winners. And then the presentations, we encourage all of them not to use PowerPoint, not to use videos, but to really show us what they got live. So there's a lot of technology, and we do run all the videotapes from the live show as soon as CES is over. So your audience is welcome to watch and let us know what they think. It's a fun way to learn about a lot of different things.
Sure is. Again, the website is lastgadgetstanding.com. Robin Raskin, thanks for taking the time with us. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.